DC has been making some very bad decisions with their star characters. They are so focused on identity politics, we have ended up with series where characters like Superman are climate activists, and they tried to mess with Robin by, of course, making him gay in his own recent comic series, but it seems like that went terribly for them because they have already canceled it due to low sales. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So, starting with this Cosmic Book News article, DC Comics cancels gay Robin. The Tim Drake Robin title isn't popular enough with fans to carry its own weight. Now, I have to talk about a lot of series like this, but having characters that are gay is not the problem. The problem is the fact that this is the only trait these new versions of characters have, like the Superman, okay? They had a bisexual Superman and his boyfriend went everywhere with him, and he was a climate activist. We need more than that. We need something more exciting, okay? Sexuality, yes, is a part of a character, but it should not be the defining feature of a character. It says after only 10 issues, DC Comics has canceled the Robin, which comes with the solicitations for the June 2023 comics. Robin was changed to a gay character by DC Comics back in 2021 with the release of Batman Urban Legends number 6 after being straight for 30 years. The end of the issue features Robin, who previously dated girls, coming out and accepting a date from his friend Bernard after the pair battles chaos monsters. The gay Robin is Tim Drake, who got his own series last September, but we see it wasn't popular enough with fans to carry its own weight, as DC Comics has now canceled the title. And honestly, I can't say that I'm really that surprised. People know specific versions of characters they love, and they want them to stay the same because they were popular for a reason. And unfortunately, the writers at companies like DC are not good at their jobs, and all they do is make the character have one defining feature, and in this case it was his sexuality. Robin's gay. That's the only thing this version of Robin had going for him. You need to write new, interesting, unique stories, and also you could throw in the fact that he happens to be gay in this one, and most people probably wouldn't care. They would still give this a chance because as long as the story is good, that's really what matters. But the writers at companies like DC can't do that. They're awful at their jobs. It says last year we also saw the gay Superman ongoing canceled by DC Comics, but relaunched with only a mini-series by Tom King, who is advising James Gunn on the similarly titled Superman Legacy movie as part of the new DCU. Yes, I did also talk about this in depth, but they had a gay Superman series where he was also the climate activist, and they decided to cancel it. It says the news about the cancellation wasn't surprising, as it meant no one was purchasing the comic book. However, we see that DC Comics continues with its woke agenda to its characters as Superman is getting relaunched, but only as a mini-series with the Black Superman Val Zod. DC Comics released a press release about the announcement, which also includes news that Action Comics will undergo a new format featuring 3 Superman stories, and then a new Superman ongoing monthly series featuring the original Clark Kent version will be released. So after this, Superman situation, they did try to get people hyped up by saying, well, we're actually bringing the original Clark Kent version back for a little while, and they tried to mask their mistakes with, putting fan favorites on paper again, but it just isn't enough. We don't know what they're going to do with Robin now that it has failed, but we know that both of these series have been disasters for them. Also taking a look at who is finishing off this Tim Drake Robin series, her name is Megan Fitzmartin, and she has done several more woke projects for DC in the past. Here we go. First of all, she did the DC Pride Tim Drake special. They did a bunch of these for characters. The breakout story from Batman Urban Legends collected in one volume for the very first time in time for Pride Month. Tim Drake's search for a missing friend kidnapped by the villains known as the Chaos Monsters leads Tim to realize his identity as a bisexual man. And this, of course, was a kind of bridge between the two series, but this was their big Pride Month story last year. And she also was behind Dark Crisis Young Justice. Crises have always had devastating impacts on the generation of heroes that make up Young Justice, and Dark Crisis will hit them even harder. Tim Drake, Impulse, and Superboy go missing during the Justice League's funeral. The only person concerned enough to find them, Cassie Sandsmark, aka Wonder Girl. But the three boys of Young Justice aren't on this earth anymore. They're on the world of their dreams, one they may never want to leave. So of course all the men decided to go missing, and the one female had to figure out a way to save the stupid boys. She just clearly has a history of writing this type of work, and it's not work that I personally am a fan of. I've had to talk about DC Comics a lot on the channel because I do enjoy a lot of the characters. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I mean, I could sit here and go on forever about all the characters that I love. I used to prefer DC Comics over Marvel, but unfortunately both are just kind of trash at this point, and it's stories like this that are the reason they're not listening to their consumers. They're not really seeing the content that people want to consume, and all of these writers that they're hiring are in their own bubbles. They're only writing what they feel comfortable with, what they want to write, what they think the industry needs. And of course DC is hiring them so they feel like they can do whatever the hell they want. And unfortunately we get series like this where the one woman has to save all of the men, and we have, you know, pride specials that lead into books where your favorite characters are very different versions of themselves. And while I'm sure that there are a few people out there who like this content because had to have sold a handful of copies at least, a lot of people do not like this. I mean, going to Twitter, a new post about this blew up, and I did retweet it. Chuck Dixon wrote Tim Drake Robin for 114 issues for 8 years and helped bring a new generation of comic readers in. Megan Fitzmartin retconned Tim Drake to be gay, and her Robin comic was so abysmal it's canceled after only 10 issues in less than a year due to low sales. And this is hilarious. I mean, 10 issues is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things, and this didn't even survive for over a year. I mean, clearly, this did not go the way that DC anticipated, and looking at the comments, even people are laughing at this. It also says that both have become fan favorites. DC did try to spin this as, well, there were people who really loved this version of the character, but unfortunately we just have to move on because it's right for us. I don't think that it was a fan favorite, or else it would have sold more copies. So as you can see, everybody's just kind of roasting it at this point, and it is just another failure for DC to add to the list. They had gay Superman and it failed. They have gay Robin, and unfortunately for them, it also failed as well. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.